Mr. Mayor, on the Central London issue, did you consult with disabled groups prior to the announcement of the car-free day on Oxford Street for more than an hour before the issuing of your press release?
Well, Chair, the question is about congestion charge. I've not got the answer to that particular question, but I can go away and get the answer, and somebody can respond to the member.
Well, I can almost answer it for you. You didn't. Can you remember talking to any amenity groups or residents' associations prior to the announcement of the car-free day?
I mean, Chair, I'm more than happy to answer these questions, but all the members got to do is ask the question in writing, and I'll get a briefing and stuff. I mean, there's no surprises here. You know, the question I'm asked about is about the cleaner vehicle discount. The member's got legitimate questions about Oxford Street.
Mr. Mayor, this is a big thing for you.
I can write to the member after
the car-free day is a big thing for you, and you promised when you were establishing the MDC that you would engage with residents and Londoners, and there would be ongoing stakeholder engagement activities before and after the establishment of the MDC. That doesn't seem to have happened in this case, when neither amenity groups, councillors, taxi organisations, Westminster Council themselves, maybe Assembly Member Small Edwards had some idea that it was going to happen an hour before it was announced, but all the others, there was nothing. Is this the kind of level of consultation that we can expect from the MDC?
Well, I can answer the general point, Chair, without answering the specific point, which is he is aware that the powers and responsibilities of a Mayoral Development Corporation, which is what an MDC is set out in statute. I'm also quite clear that our plans to pedestrianise Oxford Street are well received. More than 7 out of 10 who responded are in favour of our plans.
This is not what I'm talking about.
On Sunday the 21st September, for one day only, in advance of that street being pedestrianised, hopefully, we will have a taster of what that will involve. And I'm sure the team responsible for organising the 21st September will have engaged with.
I look forward to communication from you, Mr. Mayor, about how much consultation took place, because I know the Liberal, Democrat and Green groups, and indeed the Labour group, were hoodwinked into supporting the MDC on the basis that consultation would be next level. And in this example, there has been none whatsoever. Will you improve upon the consultation processes when the MDC comes into operation?
I'm astonished, Chair, when a member claims to care about an issue, can't be bothered to write a question so I can get a briefing to answer. If he cared so much, why don't ask the question in writing?
Mr. Mayor, like Westminster City Council, I had bloody no notice of whether or not this was going to be introduced, and that's why I've raised it now. No notice whatsoever.
Chair.
No notice whatsoever. It was a surprise.
A member of his experience and longevity knows.
It was a surprise to the leader of Westminster Council to find out, for example, that a temporary management order has been put into to do it. Westminster Council themselves didn't know about the temporary management order until the last minute, and this is an example of consultation going forward. You've got to do better, Mr. Mayor.
Chair, I think we can see that the race to be the next Conservative mayoral candidate has begun, and Boff's in the lead at the moment, raising issues that may matter to members of the Conservative Party in Westminster.
We're going to move on. So the Conservatives have withdrawn their question on keeping Londoners safe.
Interesting. Sorry, Chair.
Mr. Mayor,
can you repeat what you said?
Because you're doing exactly what the others
have withdrawn their interest in keeping Londoners safe.
If you want to give me extra time, believe you me, I've got loads of questions. Not that you would answer them anyway.
Calm down, everybody.
Please
calm down, everybody.
Give it up.
I'm now going to also alert you to...
Alex, you're the real opposition here now.
You to
you're the real opposition here.
Sorry, Chair, the Mayor is just turning his mic on and talking over you and everyone else, and you rebuked Assembly members.
This is the former leader speaking now.
I did rebuke before I moved on, and I'm trying to move on with the meeting. Right, so The next
Sadiq Khan faced an uncomfortable afternoon at City Hall as councillors pressed him on the controversial car-free day and broader pedestrianisation plans for Oxford Street. What should have been a straightforward discussion on congestion policy quickly unravelled into confusion, hesitation, and evasive answers from the mayor, fueling accusations that his administration is sidestepping genuine consultation with Londoners. When first asked about the congestion charge and related exemptions, Khan openly admitted, "I've not got the answer to that particular question, but I can go away and get the answer." The response drew immediate criticism, with one councillor remarking, "Well, I can almost answer it for you." What followed was a pointed line of questioning on whether Khan had engaged with residents' associations, community groups, or taxi organizations before announcing the September car-free day. Khan's attempt to deflect, encouraging members to ask in writing for a briefing, did little to quell the frustration in the chamber. Westminster Council members and transport stakeholders were, by their own accounts, left blindsided by the decision. In fact, some claimed they were only made aware an hour before the official announcement. The revelation cast serious doubt on Khan's earlier promises of ongoing stakeholder engagement when establishing the Mayoral Development Corporation. DC cornered, the mayor sought refuge in broader talking points. He noted that more than 7 out of 10 Londoners supported the idea of pedestrianising Oxford Street in consultation surveys. He also framed the September 21st car-free day as a taster for the permanent changes his administration hopes to introduce. But the inability, or unwillingness, to answer direct questions on process and consultation left critics unsatisfied. For Khan's opponents, the exchange confirmed a growing narrative that his administration is heavy on headline policies but light on accountability. For residents and businesses caught off guard by sudden changes, the mayor's vagueness only reinforces the sense of a city hall that announces first and explains later.
Enjoyed in Nigel Farage's made an announcement today about the deportation potentially of hundreds of thousands of those granted indefinite leave to remain. A lot of people would support that policy as being patriotic because it puts Britons first. Presumably, you'd say it's the opposite. You'd slam that policy.
What I would say is, if people have come to this country with skills that contribute to our economy, that help us out of economic stagnation, create economic growth, and they already have an indefinite leave to remain because they are doing that, then why would we damage our country by sending them away? If people come here and bring value to this country, bring skills to this country, that they can use to our benefit. They pay national insurance, they pay income tax, they contribute to this country. Why would we damage our economy? Why would we damage our economy by excluding those people? Because to have indefinite leave to remain, you have to meet a lot of conditions, which mean that you are a benefit to the country. So why would we damage our country by doing that? I don't agree with Nigel Farage. He's entitled to his views. He's entitled to think what he wants to think. But I believe that we want people in this country who can help us make the most of this country, get the best for this country. Economic growth, building our economy, creating wealth for all of us. And if someone can come here and do that, if someone can come here and help us do that, then surely the sensible thing to do is to welcome them.
What about those who aren't working, haven't ever worked and have no particular plans to work? Should we be, as Nigel Farage put it today, not my words, his, should we be the food bank of the world?
What we should be doing is, when people come here, we need an immigration system and an asylum system that is fair, that looks at why people want to come here, what they want to contribute, and what value they bring to the country. That's what we should have. We shouldn't make block decisions on anyone. We shouldn't just say, everybody who comes here is bad or everybody who comes here has a right to stay. What we have to have is a system which, as I say, encourages people who have the skills that we need. Take, for example, our care sector and the NHS. What about all the people who've come here and studied and got degrees that they are now using to contribute to the NHS, who got us through COVID by being on the front line. Are you saying they should be sent away? That they should be sent back to countries that we no longer
I'm not saying
need
anything.
them or
I'm saying that
value
the policy
that they have made?
The policy
for us,
of Reform
then.
UK
Is that what you're
today.
saying?
No, I'm not saying anything. The policy of Reform UK today, as I understand it, is if those people aren't working and aren't contributing, perhaps it's bankrupting the country. That was what policy suggested. But look, have to leave it there. Got to get to the news. But thanks for joining us. Looks wonderful down there by the seaside in Bournemouth. Thanks for your time.
You're very
Liberal
welcome.
Democrats MP for Edinburgh West, Christine Jardine. Thank you very, very much.